Field of vision is that which fills your eye or is the area of your focus. Objects or shapes are placed on a field of vision and then the field becomes the background. A field may be the view out of a window, the television screen, or the surface of a piece of paper that you're looking at. Fields are usually uniform in character, such as in these examples of a plain, striped, or checkerboard. Objects appear because they are different from the field that they are on. Reversing a uniform field makes objects appear even without the use of contour lines. Here are two examples of field reversal in a simple format and on a pattern. For our project, a neutral field is reversed to show a shape or an area. In the example shown, where the field would normally be white, it is changed to black, and where it would be black, it changed to white. The shape appears due to the conflict in the field change. There is no contour line to show the shape. In the two examples shown in the book, you have a checkerboard neutral field, and here's a striped neutral field. Notice how you can see the different shapes because of the change in the field. One's inside the other. This is something you have to be careful of. Because when you do a field reversal, you have your main field and then the field it's reversed to, and then you can reverse back to the main field. You can see all three. But there's a problem if you try to have three things where one is partially overlapping. As you can see in this example, you have the main field. It reverses to the rectangle. But then when you have the circle, it reverses again, but then it becomes like the background field and disappears on that side. There are ways to try and get around this if you have more complicated designs. Let me show you an example. In this geometric design, you have your background, then you have like a square with a square inside it, and another one that partially covers both of them. The way they got around the conflict part was they have a reversal to here, yet the reverse, this one is this reversal. You still kind of see the shape, but you also see this extra line. And that way you can have somewhat of an overlapping shape, even though you still get two shapes in one. In this fish design, you would have the fins overlapping the main body shape. But what they've done to make it work in this case was they have the shapes that look like fins, but they have them slightly separated from the main fish shape. Therefore, both the fins read as independent objects and the fish shape reads as an independent object. All it took was separating the shapes out, simplifying the design a little bit to make it work. Another way to make your image show up better is to lay it out so that it does not follow any of the grid lines, like this. Having it like this breaks up the different squares in the pattern behind it. For instance, if this was a black square in the checkerboard, then this would be white, and you would get a different shaped black square here, which would help read the edge of the design. The next step after you've designed what's going to go in your field is to figure out what the main field looks like. Don't start to do the reversal. Put a black dot in each square that normally would be the checkerboard for the main field or what becomes the background. Then mark the inside. In doing so, this is a black one, so in here it would be white. This is white, so this one would be black. Black reverses to white, white reverses to black, and so, etc. This is white, black, black, white, white, black. Then this one would normally be white, so it would be black. This would be normally white, so it would be black. And you follow your way on through, marking the ones that would reverse over, being the reversed field. Then you'd come back and color them in. The final design being like this. Now let's look at the grid you'll use. Here's what your worksheet looks like. And as it says in the grid below, you're supposed to design a composition and display it in field reversal. Plan ahead. It's very important. Remember, do not have the shapes follow the grid lines and have the shapes inside shapes, not partially overlapping. At the bottom, I've put the steps of production to remind you. First design it, drawing very light lines, because you don't want the contour line to show up. Then mark the background by putting a black dot or a check where all the checkerboard would be. Then calculate what the reversal would be inside your different shapes. And last thing, fill out the checkerboards. Start, if you're right-handed, from the upper left-hand corner and work your way down this way. That way you won't smear across an area you've already done. Now I'd like to show you some examples and how they develop. Here's an example of a grid with the word art in it. Notice the letters don't follow the grid lines. Lightly laid out. The next step is to figure out what the checkerboard pattern in the background is. Then figure out what the reversal is inside each letter. Then start coloring in the squares. Here's the finished design. Now for some student work.